Just now, do you know my dad has two brothers? That means I have two uncles. You know, my first uncle was a former managing director of NNPC. You should lie. Okay, that one is even small. And the current COO, Chief Operating Officer of Moando, is my second uncle. It's not true. Both of them promised me that, okay, guy, just go to school. And then my dad died. They were like, no, don't stress it. Just go to school now. I finished BSc. They say, go for NYSC. I finished NYSC. They say, why don't you go for your masters? I went for masters. Now they're saying I should go for PhD. Wow. They promised my dad they were going to help me. They said they were going to be responsible for me. Look where I am right now. I can't just make easy progress just because those people decided not to help. Why? You know, what will it cost them to help me? Look at where I am now. Every day we keep living our lives believing that everybody owes us. Just how easy and how convenient, how comfortable it is for us to easily blame our setbacks on folks, friends, and families. Guess what? Nobody owes you jack. Hey, look at me. Let me take it a step higher. Do you know that your parents are actually supposed to send you to school? They're actually supposed to be responsible for your upbringing. And even if they fail to do that, no, it is not still good reason for you to fail. I am not talking. Hey, look at me. I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker right here. No, I'm saying we cannot just continue to sit down and keep feeling that everybody owes us one thing or the other. Or the reason why we are failing is because some people chose not to help us. Come on, enough of that entitlement mentality. We're gonna rise up from that. But if they chose not to, it is not good reason for us to fail. No, not anymore. And so it's not a function of you doing more than you have been doing before. No, I'm not talking down on your ability to work. That's not what I'm doing. All I'm saying is that mentality has to shift. You have to rise up believing that nobody owes you jack. And if they chose not to help me, I owe myself to be great. I owe myself to rise up. I owe myself to be better than who I was yesterday. Just because that uncle failed on his promises. Come on. He's not God. He can talk and fail, but you cannot afford to fail. You owe yourself that. It is your dream. You are going to make sure that you get there. It has to be you. We cannot trust our life with those people. You will only start progressing the day that you understand that nobody is responsible for your failure and you start taking responsibilities. That's when you're in the right direction to success. That's a of entitlement mentality. Come on, rise up. Don't bail out on me. You're almost there.
Unfortunately, the childhood habits we saw in the last video continue in adulthood as well. The parent's contributory negligence is responsible for juvenile entitlement. But in adulthood, it's purely the adult's responsibility, and it shapes the character and personality of the person ultimately. He thinks he can afford to be lazy as a new right of him, and all others are simply put around him only to serve him. He thinks it's others' obligation to offer him a job, life, and dollars. You certainly can't expect life to hand you over everything. Some of the typical examples of adult entitlement attitude are: Number 1. I deserve the biggest office because I am the executive or director and I don't want any disturbance. Or I deserve my 2 weeks off every year, regardless of how the company is doing. These are examples born on the concept of entitlement as an operating basis. As though a person must take the weekend off or leave at 5 p.m., regardless of his/her financial condition.
Number 2. In a family relationship, spouse may expect their partner to cater to their every need and want, without giving anything in return. If that expectation is not met, it will boomerang. Entitlement attitude can manifest in many areas of life, from the workplace to personal relationships, escalating to big battle.
Number 3, the celebrity who asks, "Don't you know who I am?" when he found inordinate delay in serving at a restaurant. They think they are better than others, or more important than other people? When they want to jump the queue at the expense of others, they have little idea of how it inconveniences others.
Number 4, a highly entitled-minded person who is fired for poor job performance may blame her boss, saying the boss was threatened by her superior abilities. Thus, what could be a corrective experience actually further damages one's sense of entitlement. They act like victims and blame other people or outside forces for their problems. And that only other people are responsible for making their lives miserable.
Number 5, we are also exposed to hundreds of media and television commercials every day, suggesting we should have them now and pay later. We have come to believe that we deserve certain things, whether or not we can afford them or even need them. You are mesmerized to pop culture generally, and many grow up with this entitlement mentality. With bank EMI, you will find life very miserable. Number 6, students just out of college feel entitled to jobs because they have a degree. If they are from premium institutions, their expectations are they will be cherry-picked in the campus interview.
I deserve a job after graduation because I earned it.
I deserve a job because I pay a lot of money to go to college.
I am entitled to a job because I've worked hard and
I deserve it. I'm in grad school now.
An employer owes me a good job, decent benefits so that I can live, and health insurance.
A little over $25 an hour.
$30,000 to $40,000 a year.
Are they not entitled for the job? What is wrong in their expectations? But entitlement is defined as a guarantee of access to benefits because of inherent rights or by agreement through law. But the legal term, however, carries no value judgment, it simply denotes a right granted. Then question arises, from the value perspective, what is wrong in someone having this entitlement right? Why? Because, in the absence of anyone granting or gifting, and especially when all lives have equal value, then why some people alone are privileged? So, in a more casual sense, it only means such people's belief system that he or she is deserving of some special reward or benefit. Sense of entitlement is often used as a negative term in popular parlance. If used in negative sense, then what are the downsides of someone assuming the entitlement?
Number 1, this sense of entitlement contributes mightily to sloppiness, to low incentive, to boredom, not getting out of bedroom, to bad choices, to instant gratification, to constant demands for more, and to all kinds of addictions. Number 2, it keeps you from growing and learning. At the extreme, entitled people are self-aggrandizing. If something good happens to them, they believe it's because they're great. If something bad happens, then it's not their fault. They do whatever they feel is necessary to maintain their self-image and status, including abusing others. It is a malignant form of self-love that hurts the people around them, though it indirectly harms themselves in the long run.
3. You feel different in a self-aggrandizing way, like believing that you're always the smartest person in the room. A man who thinks he's smarter than everyone around him continually causes problems in his relationships until he accepts that he isn't special either. You feel different in a negative way, often as a response to trauma. You may think that you've suffered more than anyone else has, so you deserve pity, or you may believe that you are damaged beyond repair, and there's no point in trying to improve yourself.
4. An inflated sense of entitlement, like unrealistic, exaggerated, or rigidly held belief, is especially prominent among narcissists, according to psychologists. Individuals with narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, are likely to have a sense of entitlement, seeking obedience from others. They build layers of shields like grandiosity and a huge sense of entitlement to protect the vulnerable self. There is a single solution and remedy for these problems. We will discuss in the next video. Don't miss it.